For today, we are going to be animating a monster face. In Google Classroom, I have provided for you the template for the monster itself. If you're feeling ambitious and you want to create your own monster in Photoshop, you are welcome to do so. However, you can use mine as well. So, in Google Classroom, I want you to download that monster. It's a PSD. We're not going to open it up in Photoshop. The size of the monster is 1000 pixels. 1000 by 1292, and the unit of measurement is pixels. Frame rate you're going to keep at 24. Say create. Go to view, zoom out so you can see the whole thing, and that might not be necessary. It depends on where your screen is at the time. To put the monster on, we're going to go to File, Import, Import to Stage, and you're going to find where you saved it. Mine is right here. Open it. Now this part's important. We do not want a bitmap image with editable layers. We want a flattened bitmap image. The monster template, his arms, legs, everything like that is not going to be moving. You can just keep it flattened and say import. So there's our monster and he fills the screen. I'm going to zoom back in a little bit so I can see him. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding a face. So you're going to be adding 2 eyes and a mouth. It's up to you if you want to do a nose. I'm going to make it completely optional. Here we have, this is the body. Now I'm going to animate just the mouth to show you how to do it. However, it's up to you to take what you're learning here and adding the 2 eyes as well. It's the same concept. So I'm going to add the mouth. Add a new layer. This is my mouth. Now, go back to my body. I'm going to make this happen in 60 frames. So, right click, insert a keyframe. So my body is going to be here, and it's here. I don't have to add any tweens or any more keyframes because nothing's happening. The body is just staying there. So let's go to our layer with the mouth. I'm going to take my brush tool. The color I'm going to use for the mouth is going to be like a pinky color for his lips. Let's see, window, brush library. Actually, no, I'm not going to worry about changing that. So what you're going to do there's his mouth. Make sure you're on the mouth layer. Insert another keyframe. Now you can use your transform tool. Open it up a little bit more. Now remember, you can go back to your original one, copy it, insert a keyframe, delete it, paste in place. So that way frame 1 and frame 10 are the same. In between we have frame 5 where his mouth opens up. What do I want to put in between there? A tween. So I'm going to create a motion tween. Say OK. Say OK. So I'm going to roll my bar. You can also play around with the different types of tweens. So let's see what it looks like if I remove the motion tween. And this is up to you which one you want to use. Play around with it. Classic tween. Play around and figure out which tween is best based on what you're doing. Now the other thing we can do, I'm going to show you real quick something with the eyes. because I want to show you another option instead of drawing it. So for his eyes, insert a keyframe. Oops, I did that again. Where there is already a keyframe. We're going to make the whites of his eyes So there he has two eyes. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to work in multiple layers with this. Let's rename this layer. So that's the whites of his eyes. I'm going to add another layer for his pupils. Now, back to the whites. They're not going to move. They're going to stay there. With the pupils, I can go back to my circle tool. All right, I apologize. Somebody came in the room and I paused when I was recording real quick. So we have the layer for the pupils. I want you to have the pupils on two separate layers. So right now I'm working on, that's just my left hand side. On my left hand side I'm working on the pupils. And what you're going to do is you can move it around. So have him actually roll his eyes. So you can use your keyboard. You don't have to use the mouse. Insert a keyframe. And move it back over. Scoot it a little bit. Now, I'm not going to keep going because you get the idea. But what we can do is when we hit play, how his eye goes back and forth, what you can do copy those frames, paste those frames. So watch what happens to his eye. Goes back and forth. See, oh, that's creepy. If you aren't sure why that happened, my body and the eyeball itself ends at frame 60. The eyeball, the pupil, keeps going. So you just have to move that over. Based on what I've showed you, you should be able to complete it. So I want you to do the monster template. If you want to create your own monster, you can do so in Photoshop. Just make sure it's 1000 by 1292 pixels. You don't have to create your own monster though. He's going to have two eyes. Make sure the eyes are moving and have a mouth. Remember, you can also have him blink. You can have the whites of his eyes open and close as well. If you have any questions, let me know. Do your best to complete this. Have a great afternoon.